Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. New in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. I wasn't going to really speak on this because I might really want to continue to get on Eve, but it's more of a bringing insight to more confusion that Esau has propagated behind the scenes. And, of course, our women took the bait. You have something which is called the T-App, which is basically exposing men for being DLs or deadbeats or just crazy men and men that beat women and men that sleep with a lot of women. And essentially, it's just really all confusion because a lot of these women notice about these dudes prior to them dating them. And this is why I say the psychology of the women are fucked up, because they created an app to expose men for being these low down dirty dogs and all this other madness that they're coming up with. But what I found out that a lot of these dudes that was on that T app, a lot of the women was actually hitting these dudes up and trying to get up with them. That shows you the psychology of these women, man. The psychology of a woman is ass backwards, bro. They don't like good boys. They don't like upstanding men. Okay, because women are not upstanding. Most of them are, what the scriptures say, from a garment coming off and from women wickedness. So women are wicked, bro. All right, and I'm not saying like they just inherently wicked. Okay, because they're very they're swayed. You can sway their thinking, and they're the weaker vessel. They're the weaker sex, so they're able to be influenced. They're like kids, man. All right, that's not saying that every woman in the world is just a flat out low down dirty demon. No, because you got upstanding women in the world that do things that's required of them. So we're not gonna put that badge of shame on all of them, but the majority of them are just completely out of order. And that's just real talk, because they create an app exposing men, but when men turned around and did the same thing, that app was taken down less than 24 hours because it's a double standard. To show you that is wicked, because now they got people talking about defamation and how the women, they can post anonymously and put your picture out there and put your background, city, state, address, and they'll find out about you, and they can post themselves anonymously. But when the men did it, it was a problem. Oh, they posted naked women and they're showing this and this and that. The reality of it is, man, the reason why they took the app down is because, hey, they know that you women got way more dirt on you than men. Okay, the scriptures, the most righteous woman is the most wickedest man is more upstanding than a righteous woman. And I want y'all to think about that for a second. And it may fuck a lot of your heads up, but I don't care. All right, because the scriptures say the churliness of a man is more noble than a courteous woman. So you can have a wicked, low down Jeffrey Dahmer demon, and you can be a somewhat upright woman. At the end of the day, his moral character is still more upright than yours. All right, and this is the reason why they took it down, because I guarantee you 85 to 90% of these women that's talking all this shit on TikTok, and she even admitted, she said she knows she'll be on there. And that show you right there, you have no shame. But I guarantee you, if they was to leave that app up, you women would literally go into hiding overnight, because I guarantee you, all you women that's talking all this madness, oh, he ain't this and this and that, all you got hella dirt on you, man. Okay, you sleep around, you sleep with each other, you sleep with each other's men. Okay, you're prostitutes, you're on drugs. I mean, you out here trapping harder than the Jake men out here. You be getting trains ran on you. Okay, you're stripping. Okay, you're sleeping with your father. I mean, it's crazy if they was allowed to men to have the download on you. But you know what? Men, we don't need it's called T-born. The scriptures is the T-born. The scriptures totally expose the women for what you are. The scriptures tell us how your nature and how you are as people and individuals. And the scriptures call you a bunch of hoes and sluts, man. Bunch of rebellious. That's what the scriptures say. So you think you getting away because they shut the male version app down? No, a lot of things have been coming out about you women. And you women, everybody know you ain't right. Okay, y'all just as low down, if not more grimier than the men. Y'all sleep around more than men. Y'all sleep... Here, a man may have 1 or 2 sex partners he may be dealing with on a rotational basis, but that same chick get 5, 6 dudes to sleep with her in 2 days, man. Make that make sense. Okay, you can have literally a 3 on a scale of 10, and she got several niggas hitting her up in her DM, and you guarantee out of 20 niggas that hits her up and she's not that cute, she's probably sleeping with like 10 of them because it boosts her confidence, her ego. You know, so yeah, you women, you don't want the dirt to come out on you. You don't want that's why they shut that app down, the double standard. Because I guarantee you, half the women I know they on there. I know they on there for a fact, you know. But anyway, let's see what this chick say, and she gonna be the one to tell you. Let's listen to her, and I got a couple more videos too. So here we go.
Y'all, I really hope they don't make the male version of the T app, especially not in this area, cause bitch, when I tell you my ass is gonna be on there, bitch. Oh, what a shame. Y'all, I really hope they don't.
And she ain't lying, because military women are the biggest whores. Okay, most women that go to them, you know why they allow women to join the military? Because it's basically they pass them around, man. I mean, they pass women around in the military like a joint in a cipher, bro. I mean, that's what they do. Okay, if you got a chick and she went over to the military and she's around, like she's in the Navy and she's surrounded by dudes, she's getting popped by those men, bro. Okay, that how you sent her off, she ain't coming back the same way. So you jakes out there that got women that you allow to go to the military, you might as well just chop that relationship up and call it quits, because she's gonna go over there and she's gonna commit all types of adultery. I mean, she's telling you. And most of them go to the military to get rotted out by different dudes anyway. Everybody know that military women are a serial adulteresses. It says, wait until the military T-app. She said, oh, they got the Facebook groups for that. Sasha. So she telling you straightforward. And you think she's lying about it? No, she's telling you she's a hoe. So, I mean, hey.
Don't make the male version of the T app, especially not in this area, cause bitch, when I tell you my ass is gonna be on there, bitch. Oh, what a shame.
You can see the nervousness in her eyes, because she knows she ain't been right. She's not right. You know, she knows that she's been throwing it back on several different men and on her knees for success, as the elders called it. And that's how it is. These women are treacherous, man. All right, let's go to the next video.
Ladies, let me tell y'all something, and I'm only keeping 100 with you. But this T app, that ain't it. That ain't it. It ain't really hitting like y'all think it is, ladies. Actually, it's backfiring. And you're telling me that there's an app where women can go on there just totally anonymous, hide their face, hide their real name, and all this other stuff. But when it comes to exposing the man, quote unquote, that they had a problem with in the past, they can put his name, his face, the city and state out there and everything, while they're hiding in the shadows as women. That's not a good look. And apps like that, you got to question the validity, the integrity, and the credibility of it. And it's actually backfiring in a way, because I'm seeing a lot of men talk about, man, these women hitting me in my DMs, these women, I'm getting a lot of follow requests, because a lot of women, man, they talking about they see me on this, they see your boy on this, what is it, this T app.
Yeah, and that show you the fucked up psychology of a woman. Like, if this guy's just so bad and grimy, because women they like wicked niggas. You know why? Because the scriptures say a bird will resort to his own kind. So oftentimes women deal with wicked niggas because they're wicked. And not only that, women have to feel adequately superior to men. So they get with these low life men so they can have a one up on them. So when shit hits the fan, they can always say, well, you know, you're not worthy anyway. You know, they have to deal with men that they feel is a peg or a step below them. So this is why they get with the Pookies and Ray Rays, because their self-esteem is low. You know, and that just granted what it is. But the psychology of them is totally backwards, because he mentioned these dudes are getting hit on, you know. Face tattoos, sagging pants, you know, money stacks, all that, you know, the what they call them, the pew-pews and all that other stuff, and the pictures and blunts and all this other stuff, man. You know, the YNs. Yeah, those men oftentimes get picked because, I mean, shit, that's just the world we live in. This is a wicked ass world. Okay, and I'm gonna play this one video, and I'm gonna get a couple precepts and pray the rest.
So, ladies, let me tell you this: if you posting a picture of a man, quote unquote, exposing him, and you got some of these women out here that's attracted to that selfie that you posted, some of these women are hitting these dudes in the DM. and following them and trying to catch up with them, it ain't really hitting like y'all think it is, ladies. I don't know, some of y'all women have this anger from the past where, you know, maybe, just maybe, I'm just explaining the scenario. You could have been his side chick and he could have been your side dude. Your situation didn't work out with your dude, but his situation happened to work out. And now you salty. And now you want to blow up his spot. Just take your L on the chin and just keep it going. Because that app was really for exposing men that's giving women STDs, men that's predators, men that's out here living on the down low, like stuff like that. But that's not happening. A lot of women are out here that's just really in their feelings trying to hurt a man. So this T app, it really ain't hitting like y'all think it is. It's actually exposing a lot of you women in ways that you may not want to be exposed. But hey, do y'all thing.
Yeah, because a lot of it could just be slander too because she's mad. But like I said, the Bible gives the rundown on these women too, so we don't even need no app, bro. But it all goes back into, you know, the curses, because 90% of this is mainly Jake men and Jake women going back and forth. I mean, because her undying hatred for the so-called black man, and the fact that you got so-called black men that's getting passports and going overseas, and, you know, they're trying to get their lives together and they're dealing with foreign women. That really pisses Eve off, because now she doesn't have a slave that she can beat on constantly. Okay, because honestly, the black woman, she likes the black man because she gets to beat on him. She gets to demean him while elevating her own low self-esteem. So that's just really what it is. But this is the book of Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to start at verses 54. It says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye should be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. That's the curses. So that he would not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left in the siege, and in the straitness wherewith thy enemy should distress in all thy gates. Remember, because Jake was eating their kids. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes should be evil towards the husband of her bosom and towards our son and towards her daughter. So there's already a disconnect between our women and ourselves, because for the simple fact, the curses, you know. See, women, they don't understand. Like, I was doing some research the other day of this presentation, a PowerPoint I was thinking about putting together for work. And we was going into how so-called black men, they said more than 10% of black men, even though that's a relatively low number, but that's high number per demographic. He said 10% of so-called black men are suffering from mental health issues, man, being PTSD, being sexually abused, depression, suicide. I mean, nobody considers nothing that Jake goes through, man. So when you got Jake out here acting like just wild animals and all that other stuff, that trauma comes from somewhere, you know, and a lot of times it comes from being in a broken home. It comes from systematic oppression, you know, or systemic racism. Like Trump now, they signed this new AI law talking about, I think they're doing away with what they call critical race theory and AI and all this other stuff. But we know that they're going to use AI to have scientific racism, to pre-categorize Jake into being low IQ, man. Okay, scientific racism, that's what they're going to use. And Jake has been a victim of that. So all these things play a factor, but our women, they don't care. Okay, because the narrative that has been pushed on a so-called black man, but they don't understand that this very same so-called black man that they've been shitting on, they're gonna have to come back and run back to him, and they're gonna have to make some serious atonement to their men, man. Okay, because it's gonna come a time that when it's said and done, and when the wizard was revealed behind the curtain, and you see the agenda that was put up against our people, you women are gonna have a big awe era, like, oh damn, shock and awe. Because you're going to realize that you were weaponized against your men. And all this hatred you displayed towards us, the Most High is going to pay you back that and then some. All right? So the days are coming, oh so-called black woman, that you will pay for what you've done to your men. Okay? Because, yeah, Jake, you know, men have their problems too. We're not going to say, you know, the men, we do have our issues. We do. You know, we dropped the ball by following that woman. But at the end of the day, the woman is the primary recipient for all this wickedness going on in the earth. She's the cause of it because she sided with the serpent, and she's doing his bidding to this day. All right. But it says here, and towards the young one that should come out from between her feet, and towards our children, which she shall bear, and she should eat them for the one of all things, secretly in a siege, and straighten as well with thy enemies should distress thee in thy gates, man. So there's a complete animosity, enemy between us and our women. All right, so that's what this whole T-Light app is going into, you know. So anyway, going back here, it says here the T app must be deleted. Now it says the T app is the #1 app on the App Store, and Esau is behind all this shit, man. Because see, they are trying to create dissension between us and our women. That's the plan. That's the ploy. Okay, they have to keep you distracted and divided enough so when all hell break loose, Eve, you ain't gonna have nobody to come to your rescue. All right, and it says this can be used to spread misinformation about you without your knowledge because the app can only be accessed by women. So you see, this is a gynocentric society when things are pretty much catered towards the woman. Because when you go down here, it says the issue is that people, women especially, won't see this as an issue. Yeah, because they're so bitter and angry and hurt, and they feel so victimized to the point they don't care how it affects their male counterpart. And the fact that your male counterpart is being outed the way he's being outed, it makes you look bad as women, man. And that's what you don't understand. You think the other nations are looking at you and commending you for shitting on your men the way that you do when you're the cause of 95% of these men being as fucked up as they are? All right, you've raised the same men that you're complaining about. Why? Because you don't know who the fathers were. You went and laid down with wicked niggas, where you totally pushed the father that was willing to be in a child's life. You totally pushed him away because you wanted to have all the control. Now you're complaining about the very monsters you created. And you think people was looking at you and giving you a thumbs up. No, the world was laughing at you because you're the only one that's without protection. You see, the so-called white woman could go back to Esau. She can go back to him. All right, feminism. I want to do a little thing on this whole feminism ordeal, you know, but and going into the histories and the tenets of feminism and how it's led to the situation we're in today. But see, you don't even understand during the time of the election, what did Shesau do? Because believe it or not, Eve, Edomite, she come from Eve too. She just a different counterpart, but you call her Eve too. Remember, all the women come out of Eve, man. But predominantly, Keisha, when the time of the election came to pass, what did the white woman do? Most of the white women, outside of the liberals and the weirdos, they voted for Trump, man. And you black women like, y'all, you see, you was right back on the Kamala bandwagon, right? But it says here, women don't see that this is an issue until the male version of the app is created. He says, I deserve to know my STD history body count. And that's the reason why they deleted, because when men was putting these women out there, oh yeah, she's been with 80 dudes. Oh, she gave this nigga, that nigga. She burnt him, gave him AIDS, gave him herpes, gave him chlamydia, or whatever you want to call it, X, Y, and Z. So they had to take that shit down immediately, because the very woman you laying down with can have, she can have a high ass body count of 200 men, and yet this broad is only 25 years old. You think they're gonna let that stick around? Hell nah, man. Okay, because they know women spend the most money too. Women are the biggest consumers. Look it up. Women spend way more money than men. And women spend money they don't even have. So you think Esau is gonna allow a male version of the T app to stay up? Fuck no. These bitches have been committed suicide, man. But it's gonna come a time that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai will humble you women. You will be humble, and you are already being exposed. It says, and I guarantee you, if a male version existed, it would be headline news and deleted immediately. Yep. It says, imagine if the roles were flipped. Yep. Yep. And the scriptures lets us know, man. But yep, they took the male version down in 24 hours. They say, nah, we can't do this. your baby mom, because these women, they have kids, 5, 6 different baby fathers, man. But yet this same broad is saying on there, oh, he's a red flag. You the red flag. You got 5, 6 different baby daddies. you know, like chick like, you ignored all the red flags. No, I seen every red flag you had. I'm just popping you, and that's as far as it can go. That's as far as it will go. Until somebody gets tired, that's as far as it'll go. No marriage, no commitment, no none of that. Because I already know you for the streets. So it is what it is. All right, but anyway, let's go here. Jeremiah, no, is it Jeremiah 31 and 22? Because this society is gynocentric. It's basically catered to women. This is the reason why they're able to get away with murder. This is a woman's world, man. All right, with the so-called white man being at the helm of it because he's the devil. Jeremiah 31 and 22, it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? It says, for the Lord have created a new thing in the earth. A woman should compass a man. Yeah, and this is the reason why they get away with certain things, why they have positions of office, why they have leadership positions, why they're able to flip off at the mouth and nobody's there to put them back in subjection because, you know, they're in power with the serpent. You know, and as I mentioned, the scriptures is our TAP, man, because the scriptures tells us what you women don't tell us. Okay, Sirach 26 clearly tells you that you will open your mouth as a thirsty traveler. So that tells us right there. That's just the nature of most of you. All of you, to be honest with you. But, you know, fortunately, you got men in the world still that's able to tame their wives, man. Because, like, it's so funny. Like, where I stay at, it's a lot of, it's like a melting pot. You know, you got a lot of Hamites. You got a lot of Jakes from Ethiopia, a lot of Jakes from Sudan. You got a lot of Northern Kingdom from Venezuela. You got all them walks of life where I stay at. So sometimes I go to, like, the little shopping malls. Or, like, I went to Burlington yesterday to pick up like some tank tops and stuff like that, you know, just like little cheap shit. So it was this, look like she was Samoan chick. A lot of them Samoans, not Samoan, but a lot of those, a lot of them Samoans and a lot of them Sudanese Hamites, a lot of them be Jake too, man. You know, because the Sudanese are very tall, but this was a little short young lady, cute little thing. So she called me up to the register, so she looked at me and she kind of had like this look in her eye. She still had her modesty. She had a hijab on. She was fully garbed, everything. But as I was talking to her, she was modest. She was young, but at the same time, I picked up a spirit of pride. And back in my mind, I'm like, she's probably been in America maybe 6 months to a year. And I can see the pride seeping off her because when they come over here, they get around Keisha, they get around the Shedamite woman or the Edomite woman. And they have this type of attitude because they're being exposed to the rap culture, this culture, that culture. And then they see these YNs and they get attracted to them. So they come over here and then they drop the modesty. And then all of a sudden they want to be with these young niggas. So anything else outside of that, they're not vibing with it because, you know, they've been poisoned by the culture. And that's why the scriptures say that all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wine of her fornication. All right, the philosophies. So usually when you heathens come over here and you let your daughters come over here, your daughters will spoil you off the bat. All right, you bring your daughters over here and you let them work independent because in their country they don't really they work under their parents, but they come over here on foreign visas and all this other stuff, and you let them work in these corporations, and before you know it, she's downloading TikTok, she has Snapchat. You know, and now she's exposed to all these different men and these alleged freedoms that she have now. It takes her by storm. So it's like a constant dopamine hit. So she starts acting weird. You know, takes off the hijab, and before you know it, you got you another hoe. Okay, this hitman or this world or this rulership or this place, it poisons the minds of people, man. Okay, America's a big fucking cancer. You come over here, you will be affected by it sooner than later. You know, like I got a homegirl, man. I don't want to call her homegirl because it's like that's I feel like that don't really do it justice, man. But I got a somebody that's close to me that's from a different country, from an Asian country. And she come over here, she went to school, but hey, when she finished school, they sent her right back to her country. Like her parents wasn't playing that shit. Like, nah, get her. And I'm like, that's the best thing you could have done. Like, was grab her and take her back to her country. Because let's just say what type of mindset she would have if she stayed over here and she wasn't under the right influence. But luckily, she had the right influence when she was over here. You know, and kept her straight. But let's just say if she didn't have that particular help or that succor, she would have been totally just jacked up in the mind. She would have been just like a regular Edomite chick, man. You know, or a Moabite chick or whatever you want to call them. Just throwing the races out there. I'm not saying that's what she was, but still. You know? So yeah, it's this culture really poisons the people. more videos.
So I'm seeing so many of y'all men getting mad because of the T app. The crazy thing about that T app is a lot of y'all are laughing about it because y'all, okay, whatever. And then,
But you know she'll be on there. I mean, you could tell she's a walking red flag. You could just tell. Look at the spirit. Okay, this is a woman that you just have recreational situation where you don't wife this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go on a date with her. You know, restaurant. You don't spend $100 on this, man. Okay, y'all go see a movie or whatever, man. You know, go get some ice cream. But you trying to take this back to the house and you trying to keep, you know, you trying to do what you got to do until it grows tired. And even then, with a woman like this, you probably only get 2-3 uses out of her before she gets too entitled, and then she's probably gonna duck off the radar anyway because she has other men. So you know she would be on a male version of a T app, and she wouldn't be able to handle that. But peep the pride on this woman.
and it's a lot of y'all really mad because women are really on here posting y'all pictures and letting other women know, hey, don't date him. He hits women. Hey, don't date him. Last thing I remember is looking at him, and next thing I remember, I was in his bed. All we're doing is warning each other about y'all. That's it. But some of y'all insecurities and shit is really showing. Some of y'all, I really did that shit. I really ain't shit. My mama raised a loser. It's starting to show. Y'all getting real mad about that shit. And I mean, okay, go and make another app and put women on there. We don't give a fuck. But some of y'all are really talking about suing. How are you going to sue when it's anonymous, dummy? That's just how dumb some of y'all men are. You can't sue an anonymous page, stupid.
And you see why women like her will be totally unalived in the streets of America when all hell break loose. And this is a woman that you don't marry. Okay, for one thing, her vulgarity, she speaks too rough. She's masculine. And you can tell she's been with several men. She does have a spirit of I'm ruined on me. You know, and when you look at this woman, I don't think she have call her the King Onyx. See what you looking like. Yeah, typical hoe.
It's something that's better when it's thick and...
Yeah, blonde hair, yep. Total loser. Total loser, degenerate. No hair, hair weave. Probably multiple baby daddies. Several high ass body count. Yeah, please. I'll pass.
Now, I knew this was going to go too far. I knew y'all was going to take it over the moon and through the woods to motherfucking grandma's house we go. I knew y'all was going to do it. And y'all know when I got my red glasses on, that means y'all finna get it. We finna get some gathering together. Okay, so y'all know about the T app that's been going around. It is here in my city and state, and it is a waiting list. I'm not on it, but I have several people that have contacted me and told me that they're waiting, and I know a few people who are on it. Now, what's going on now from what I done heard, and the rabbit hole I done went down, the guys have one called T-Born now, okay, where they're exposing us ladies. Now listen, ladies, I ain't been the perfect person, so, you know, I know y'all be cutting up too. Why would y'all do that? Not only is that happening, we have had a few incidents where people have been unalived because of this app. There was an incident that happened in Detroit where a 3-year-old little girl was unalived and her dad was severely harmed. Now, again, the app is is locked tight. You can't do screenshots. You can't repost anybody's name, picture, and stuff. They got this app, both of these apps, like crump tight. We got a few choice people, and I don't care. Some of them can be just as classy. They can be ratchet. They can be smart. They can be. It's just them few choice people that are just. It don't matter what class they from. They negative, and that's what they're going in there for. And they want to expose somebody because they are just absolutely mad at them. It don't matter. But y'all, it's a lot of stuff going on. People are starting to get hurt from both of these apps because it's getting a little too far. It's getting a little too far. Now, you know, I be with the shits and giggles and stuff, but when it comes to the point where, you know, people are getting unalived and getting, beating, all types of other stuff like that. That's too much, y'all. That is too much. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Have y'all been on this app? Did y'all go and see what was going on? The men's, they got the app and stuff. Now, I'm just letting y'all know right now, I am single. I'm not interested in nobody to the point where I want to go find out that much information about them. If they can't come to me real and tell me, I don't want their asses anyway. I'm going to let y'all I'm going to have my, I got my glasses on. I got my notepad and stuff. I'm gonna be taking notes and stuff and reporting for y'all. But this right here. This is spicy and merch. This is some merch, y'all. But tell me what y'all think in the comments. Now I knew that.
A lot of it just useless gossip, man. I mean, just people just want something to talk about. Because Keisha, she just loves drama. These women are toxic. So a lot of these men that's getting exposed on here, a lot of them are getting the women. A lot of them are getting more women now. It's backfiring, like that Jake dude said.
So you heard the men's version got shut down, right? Yeah, that's right. So you know about the T app. Well, the men, they were salty, I guess, okay, and they decided they were going to sit there and create one. So it was called the T-Born app. Now, it got shut down in less than 24 hours. Why? Men were posting women's, for JJ's and, all, showing everything. You can't do that, baby. But everybody's like, oh, I'm so...
You can't do it because it's a double standard. Because, see, one thing this system teaches you, women can do it, but you can't do it. All right? That's how you know that we are in a matriarchal society, man, that deals with the rulership of women. This is a woman's world, bro. I mean, yeah, men still have the world revolved, but it's catered towards women. So just certain rights you just don't have that they do. And that's unfortunate because when we get in the kingdom, it's going to be a kingdom, a kingdom where men call the shots and dominate and rules and have influential power over every aspect of life. Okay, you women aren't going to have any influential power in our kingdom. Okay, now you're going to be there. You're going to have rulership, joint rulership with us. But you're not going to be making decisions and calling shots over world affairs. You're not going to have a presence in the media. There's not going to be none of that. All right. You're going to be subjected to under your men. You're going to have your slaves and you're going to have your subjects and stuff like that you can rule over. But you're not going to have any influential power on the new world to come whatsoever. All right. We even catch you as doing so much of a spiritual TikTok in the kingdom, man. But you ain't going to do that. You ain't going to put yourselves out there. Okay. You're going to be in order. You're going to be humble. You're going to be submissive. You're going to be shamefaced, and you're just going to be, in the cut chilling, enjoying your modesty for eternity. Okay, which is actually, it's more probable for you, man. It works out for you that way. Because this clearly ain't working because you walk around, you looking like this, then here you go.
For defamation of character and stuff like that and everything. And I'm sitting there reading it because I'm nosy. That's why I downloaded the T app. Okay, I'm gonna be dead ass.
Exactly. The scriptures say being fucking busybodies, man. Matter of fact, let me get that. Being a fucking busybody, man. You women are just, you busybody. First Timothy 5, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 10. It says, well reported of good works. This is going into the widow, okay? But the women, it says, if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, and if she have washed the saints' feet. You women don't believe in that, man. All right, you ain't washing no man's feet. It says, and if she receive the afflicted, relieve the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. And you women, you don't do that. It says, but the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax one time against Yahushua, they will marry, having dominion, because they have cast off their first faith. And withal, they learn to be idle. And you women here in America are completely idle. Wandering about from house to house, you jump rod to rod, you house to house. Not only idle, but tattlers, also busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. All right. And this is what this whole T-Light app is all about, man. Okay, you're gossiping, you're putting things out there. And then once again, when you get unalive because you go into uncharted territory, then, then everybody wants to mourn you. No, but see, Yahweh Shai has a very way of turning the tables on wickedness, man. Just watch how this thing gonna flip. Just watch. As we progress into the downfall of this kingdom, women are gonna be exposed more and more, and you're gonna realize that you was never nothing without your man. And that's just the reality of it. All right. It says, I was therefore that the younger women marry, which these women, they don't want to be married. They want to hop around. That's why they took down the T-Born app, because men was exposing that these women get around. All right. I mean, the average chick out here is walking around with 60, 70 bodies. And I'm talking about she ain't even 30 yet, bro. They're starting as young as 13 years old out there getting rotted out. By the time she's her 21st birthday, she got 40 bodies on her. But it says, bear children, guide the house, give no occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. It says, for some are already turned aside after Satan. All right.
Honest with you, I'm nosy, so I'm looking at it, and there's a few people that are from my area that I know, and they're like, it's defamation. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not defamation of character if it's true, baby. Okay, if it's true, it's not defamation of character, and it's fucked up. Okay, because you thought that you were gonna stay low key, but no, y'all put men on blast. Women, y'all are now getting put on blast, but y'all got shut down. Luckily, okay, that got shut down. All right, because I was seeing for JJ's and stuff. I was like, oh no, because the T-Born app was for anybody. It didn't limit it to just like women. It was for men and women. Okay, but the men took that shit over and was like, oh no. They went the fuck in. That shit got shut down in an hour, like in 24 hours. It got shut the fuck down. Okay, so y'all be wary, because the men are coming for y'all. I'm letting you know now. And I know everybody's like, why are you laughing? Because it's funny on my end. Okay, because I read the messy shit, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, do y'all realize that every one of y'all that are tagging in, y'all are all fighting over community PP. Okay, because now there's arguments in the T app, okay, over men or whatnot. Y'all gotta get into this, okay? Like, seriously. So you heard the men's version.
Yeah, because they always falling over each other, bro. Nothing they ever, when women come together and try to do something out of confusion and wickedness, it never works. You know, like, chick, like, well, what about men giving us things? Do you understand that somebody here, okay, he may gave you something, but don't you think he got it from a female? Y'all out here affecting each other with STDs and shit. Do you know that woman is the biggest carrier? The black woman is the biggest carrier of STDs. And they always want to blame men. A lot of times you women get it because you nasty. You go sleep with these moles out here, and then you would take it home to your husband, and then he don't know he has it. Then all of a sudden you say, well, I got HIV, and you blame your husband for cheating, which men can't cheat, but you blame your husband, not revealing that you just slept with a mole 2 days ago. So you black women are getting ready to be shut down for good, man. It's too much. All right. Here, Sirach 26, and I'm gonna start at verses 5. It says, there be 3 things that my heart feareth, and for the 4th I was so afraid. It says, the slander of a city. Yeah, man. You know, when you're being slandered and falsely accused, and, you know, people pick up, you know, and put you out there for habits you may, you know, don't want to come to the surface. I mean, you know, we all have issues and minds and bodies and shit that we've all dealt with, you know, traumatic coming from the curses and, you know, we all deal with stuff like that. But, you know, when people try to make you look bad, you know, when you genuinely mean well, that can break a person's spirit, man. You know, very well. The slander of a city. And they gonna try to do that to the men of the Lord, man. When shit comes hit the fan, they gonna be trying to accuse us of all types of stuff, saying we murderers, we're thieves, we're robbers, we're grapists, you know, we're crazy. You know, they gonna be making up false narratives. Yeah, we just kidnapped, you know, they gonna be doing all types of stuff out there and putting bounties on us type ordeal. It's gonna be crazy, man. And we gonna have to take that shit to the chin and be faithful to the Lord that he gonna deliver us. But it don't feel good being outed like that. But you people are going to get exposed for your wickedness. But it says, and the 4th, I was so afraid. It says, the slander of a city and the gathering together of an unruly multitude and the false accusation, all these are worse than death. So, yeah, man, them men in there pissed off. And granted, a lot of them niggas in there are wicked anyway. They're wicked. A lot of them dudes are DL. I mean, the truth be told, you know, not playing devil's advocate, A lot of them dudes in the T-Light app, they are wicked. A lot of them are on the down low. A lot of them do stupid. You know, a lot of them are into that crazy lifestyle. So granted, I mean, what's true is true, but guess what? Y'all still choose to deal with these dudes, man, because y'all ain't no better. If anything, you're a lot worse. You know, scriptures say a bird's resort to his own kind. Make it make sense. But it says, but the grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicated with all busybodies, man. You know, jealousy. Another big thing is jealousy. A lot of y'all are jealous over these other. You get a woman, and it happens all the time. Good story is Sarah and Hagar. All right, that's a good story. Shit. Yeah, well, even righteous women of the Lord got jealous because, I mean, they're just in their nature, even though they shouldn't be jealous, because it's lawful for a man to take on as many women as he can deal with, take care of, whatever you want to call it. But even then, it's just like, in this world we live, a woman feels that she's a man supposed to be subjugated to only her. My man, you have no man. It's roughly 5.5 billion women on the planet Earth, and roughly maybe 1.5 billion men. Y'all outnumber us 10 to 1, and you think that you're supposed to receive a man exclusively to you, and you ain't shit? That's crazy. Make that make sense. Hell, each man on the planet Earth can have 100 women a piece if he needed to, because y'all outnumber us 7 to 1. So the math ain't mathing in y'all mind. And y'all get jealous over that because it's a self thing. It's a self-hatred thing. Instead of you trying to better yourselves and be upstanding women for your men, y'all choose to compete with each other and destroy your whole goddamn thing, man. Y'all gonna compete with one another, compete with being righteous and keeping it classy, but y'all can't do that because y'all want to be the one. Ain't no one. All right? Hell, Yahweh Shai got 144,000 prophets, man. Hey, shoot. We fighting to get in the good grace of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, but I ain't knocking another brother's relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Your relationship better with him than mine. Nah, man, you tripping. You can't do that. Nah, bro. We all trying to get into Yahweh Shai's good graces. We ain't tripping. We do what the hell we told, because we the Lord's woman, man. Okay? Yep, let's keep going. It says a drunken woman. Matter of fact, it says an evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro, and he that have hold of her as though he held a scorpion. Scorpions are venomous. It says a drunken woman and a gathered bride cause a great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. See, this is the T-Born app right here. This tells us everything we need to know about y'all. All right, and it says here, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. And every woman I showed you on this TikTok app, they all fit this description. Okay, you expose yourselves. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through over much liberty. Yeah, you have too much liberty. You have no consequences. There's no consequences for being a woman in this world. You can be the biggest whore you want to be, and the government and Esau would totally justify you and give you a free pass, while he's the most lowest detestable piece of shit on the planet Earth. You know? But it says here, watch over the impudent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. And they all commit adultery, brother. Even the ugly ones. It says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. And by every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. So that right there tells you that these women are a bunch of hoes, man. Okay, this is the rundown. This is the T-Born app right here. The scriptures is telling you what they do. Hell, I did a video yesterday, quick little video titled, "This is what they do, brother." I mean, if that's not clear as day, then I don't know what to tell you. This is why, when you really think about it, bro, this is why it's good to not get wrapped up this is why it's not to get wrapped up on dealing with these women, man. I mean, don't get too caught up in their emotions, bro. Don't get caught up in the feelings of that. You know, because if you get caught up in your emotions, then you'll be messed up out here if you focus on all the shit she's doing, because you know she ain't upright. You know, and that's just real talk. Shit, you got you a nice little decent chick, and then you got you a little hoe on the side, then so be it, man. You know, but with the hoe on the side, man, you don't console in her. You don't feed into her, man. You just pop her and let her come and rub on you, and you know, she wants to stay a night or two, and you know, you make it do what it do. But keep in back of your mind that, all right, man, this woman, I know she's out here. She's young, she's cute. You know what I'm saying? She has no structure. She don't know. She's a product of Babylon. So you have to keep that in back of your mind, man. You know? So don't get too caught up in these women. If you feel yourself getting caught up in them, then, hey, take a step back and get yourself together, because it can happen once the kuba is good. Trust me, we know. One last precept, and I ended. I didn't intend for it to go this long, man. I really didn't intend it, but, you know, the Spirit does what it does. Micah 7, and I'm going to start at 9. It says, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. It says he will bring me forth to the light, and I should behold his righteousness. That's us. We're coming back into the light and the grace of the Most High and his Son. And it says, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, what is the Lord thy power? It reads, my eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. All right. So all these women that's talking all this madness on this T-Born app, they all are getting ready to get judged, bro. So just sit back and watch and enjoy. And with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you will edify. Until the next lesson. Shalom.